With understanding and trust, even celebrity marriages will survive. Every marriage is a matter of fact. Our first guest is in the house. Let's meet her.
Okay, it's time to meet our guest, Chichi Mbagwu. Chichi Mbagwu is the face of unity in Nigeria, and she got this crown in 2013. Great to have you on Weekend Deal, Chichi.
It's fantastic to be here. Good morning.
Good morning, Chichi.
Exciting. You know, nowadays, many young people have different diversifying interests. It's not a case of I go to university, I want to read medicine or engineering. Even when they study sometimes, they have ideas. They have creative and ingenious ideas in other directions. Perhaps like in modeling, perhaps in the ICT. And maybe daddy and mommy or the guardian is saying, go be a doctor. How ought that to work?
Yeah, so I think it's extremely important to have sort of that creative flair. It's very important to have something that you're passionate about, something that you sort of inspires you to sort of work towards. But at the same time, it's also extremely important to remain focused on education as well. You can do sort of both at the same time. I think education provides a very important foundation for you to sort of fall back on if needs be, and also to really give yourself some stability going into adulthood. Is extremely important, but at the same time you can also follow your passions, creative or otherwise. So I think it's good to have sort of a balance of the two.
Okay, I like the fact that you focused, because obviously you went ahead to read accountancy. You're an accountant.
Yes.
But tell me, what attracted you to the beauty pageant world? I mean, given all that you've achieved after that, what attracted you to the world of beauty?
Yeah, I think it was really important for me to be able to showcase the variety and diversity that exists within the beauty world. I think the stereotype is, you know, makeup and, you know, looking a particular way and, you know, walking a particular way, but there's also so much more to it. Beauty queens have brains, we sort of have passions, we have education with us as well, we have different hobbies, and it was important for me to be able to showcase that we are diverse, and, you know, just because you look a certain way doesn't necessarily mean you're put in a box. We can be multifaceted, we can, you know, represent different, you know, areas, and also, you know, really show ourselves as more than just what we look like.
Okay, sounds interesting. You know that many young girls are out of school through no fault of theirs. Perhaps their parents are unable to pay their fees, or they've been displaced, you know, in some way, manner or shape. With your crown and with your interest in youths and empowering them, how much further do you think you can take it in terms of ensuring that every young girl in Nigeria has the opportunity to go to school, at least up to the tertiary level?
Yeah, I think it's extremely important for everyone to get access to education. I think young girls in particular are maybe not as, you know, fortunate as boys, in the sense that, you know, we have this expectation of us, you know, to grow up to become wives and mothers, and we don't necessarily, society doesn't necessarily focus on the importance of education for young girls. So I really want to sort of emphasize the importance for young girls to be, you know, educated, and making sure that there are facilities in place that, you know, allow young girls to access schools, access education, access help growing up, especially at an elementary level. You know, that's the most important, those developmental years for young girls. So I believe in being able to, you know, in whichever way possible, to open those doors for young girls and provide, you know, education where possible.
Okay, one thing that scares a lot of parents from allowing their daughters delve into the world of beauty pageants, it's the things that happen, the temptations. I said that you're focused and you're grounded. What's responsible for this?
Well, I think for me personally, the way I was brought up, my parents instilled very strong values within me at a very young age, and I think it's very important to have people that you can look up to, people that guide you, people that sort of take you down the right path from a young age. So when you start, going into these things and beauty pageants and sort of just all kinds of things, you have those values instilled in you. I think it's very easy to be influenced when you're sort of in that kind of world and surrounded by temptations and surrounded by people that, tell you they're going to give you the world. But if you have that sort of grounding in you from an early age, from, family, friends, aunties and uncles that are truly interested in sort of supporting you and making sure that you stay down the right path, then that's personally what helped me.
It has impacted you and brought you to this point.
Yeah, I was going to say that the influence of your mother. Your mother came with you to the studio today.
She did.
Her presence, has it not helped in making sure that you're focused and grounded?
Yeah, definitely. My mother's played a huge role in sort of me becoming who I am. I see myself in my mother more and more as I grow up. I think when you're a child, it's sort of like your parents are, telling you what to do, and you don't understand sort of why you want to do one thing and they tell you to do another thing.
They seem to be too firm or strict.
Exactly. But as you grow up, as you become an adult, you understand the reasons why your parents, send you down a certain path, and it starts to make sense. And I see myself becoming more and more like my mother, and
by the time you choose your own name. On a final note, as we wrap up our conversation, oftentimes beauty queens can make inroads, in a bid to make life better for those around them. Perhaps they could have foundations, non-governmental organizations that they can use to champion the cause of many young people, especially in these days where many people have ideas, dreams, and aspirations, and they lack the capital, or the expertise to push it forth. Are you thinking in that line, perhaps merging with other people that have won Miss Unity? Are you thinking of things like that?
Yeah, I think it's very important to be able to collaborate, because sort of collective power is really what helps move things. And in order to really sort of build that momentum and make a change, more people are better than one. So I'd definitely be interested in working with sort of different organisations, different foundations, to spread the word and sort of deliver the message across as many, people as possible.
I want to thank you, Chichi Mbagwu, for coming on Weekend Deal today. It's been amazing listening to you. You are firmly grounded.
Yes.
You are more than just a beautiful face and a crown. Yeah. And it's very obvious to those who have seen you and those who have listened to you today. We wish you well in all your endeavors.